Hello and welcome to Dan Turismo. I'm Dan. Today we're going to be taking the tourist to mop up a few races and try and get to that magical 100,000 credit figure, at which point we'll buy a new car. So that will be today. Mainly we'll do this Sunday Cup race, we'll see what we can do with the Clubman Cup, and we will also hop over to the US National Championships and see if we can't get both of these knocked out. The thing about doing these ones is you don't win cars for these races, so it's finding the motivation to do them can be a bit tricky, but then when you do, you can go on to these ones, which you do win very good cars for. So, right, so first up we're doing the Sunday Cup race at Red Rock Valley. In the last video I had a bit of a bad time here, but that was against the, well, I hope were more powerful opponents, because if not I'm going to have just as bad a time here. But judging from the first couple of 100 yards, I'm going to sail through this pretty easily. But yeah, this Taurus, I could do even more upgrades to it. I could go the full hog with it and it would do me a lot, but to use one car for so long, it's not that fun. You know, I'm not in this to plough through it as quickly as possible, even though I am trying to get these videos sort of reasonably snappily. I don't want to. Sorry, I don't know what I'm on about. And as a result, I'm being overtaken. Oh, that Alpha just colossally understeered into the Sylvia. So, I should probably think about what type of car I was going to get. See, before I was torn between getting something with, you know, a big engine, lots of power to do some of the higher power races, but then that just becomes too easy to do other races. So I'm going to take maybe not a step back, but a step sideways and buy something lightweight, mid-engine, well, preferably mid-engine, because that'll do me the MR Cup then, and then see what I can do from there. But I'm also now thinking, having remembered that there are rally stages in this and that I can do some of them, of getting something that I can sort of turn into my own little rally car. And mid-engines isn't going to be ideal for that, Stratos notwithstanding. Oh, that was nice. I'm sorry I'm quite silent, but there's not a lot more I can say about this car, really. I've not modified it to look like a NASCAR yet, but that is still something I may do, because some of the races later on, where you're sort of up against the GT300 spec Japanese touring cars, I reckon, once with this fully modified, I reckon this could give them a run for their money. Although the thing with this is that the horsepower figures, I don't know what to make of them. I've really balls this up, I might not even win. But yeah, the horsepower figures, I don't really know. Oh, wow, I really have messed that up. Too cocky. Wow, so I didn't even finish second. So what I'm going to do is do that race again, skip through, and see you on the other side. This curb sounds funny. Right, and that's that hopefully done, yeah. Oh my god, Red Rock Valley's a dreary track. Right, here we are at the first race of the Clubman Cup, and I vastly overestimated the difficulty of this, judging by my opponents. I could have done this ages ago. Oh, at least it's only the short course. Those hatchings, there definitely were some. The long course, I don't remember noticing them when I did the race in this, in a different series, but the short course version, awful. Oh, almost punted off as usual there. Oh, that was nice. So yeah, as I was saying in the last video before I got distracted by my own ineptitude, the power figures on this game. World Rally cars of this era, late 90s, we've had, 300, 320 horsepower. That's what they've had for a while. In the showroom on this, it says, about 300 horsepower. You buy them, you go in the garage, and they've got nearly 500. Why does it do that? That's in no way right. Do they actually have 500 horsepower? Does the game code them with 500 horsepower? Or is it just a mistake that they say 500 horsepower but actually have 300? That might be an interesting little test to do at some point, actually. Do like an acceleration test with a rally car, and then get a road car with similar performance, weight, and then go on the 0 to 400 test and see whether they do actually have the 500 horsepower that they shouldn't have, or if that's just an error. Anyway, that was a quick and painless race. I didn't much fancy doing another Clubman Cup race, so I'm doing the first round of the World Open Cup, Tahiti Road again. Yay! Dan's doing another race at Tahiti Road. Gee, that's really what I want to watch. Yeah, I'm sorry about the repetitive nature of the tracks. I'm trying to spread it out a bit, but later in the game we'll get to some of the beefier tracks. But yeah, so if I win this, I think I get $7,000, and hopefully the prize car as well will be worth roughly that, and then that'll take me up to the $100,000 target. Oh, I haven't driven this on this track since I did the suspension upgrades. It's just, this track is brilliant. I wasn't even steering for most of that corner, it just sort of slid in under braking, maintained full throttle, straightens up nicely, perfect. I could even go shorter on the gears, but I don't really think it'd be worth it, because knowing me, I'd then enter a race with a very long straight, super like the super speedway or something, forget to do it, and then just spend my life in regret. Oh, that was nice. Oh, that was a lovely lift. Could have even taken it faster. It's a shame some of these races are only 2 laps, but I guess it's good for making videos, because otherwise there'd be lots of cutting, or you'd be watching like 20-minute races, and the series would go on forever, which I don't want it to do. I don't want this to get into, like 80, 90, 100 episodes. I haven't made any attempt to work out how long this will be, but the longer races I'll cut down, and some of the stuff like the manufacturer specific races I might not even bother with. I know I've done the sleek one already, but right, so that's that one. Let's hope the car's worth enough. If not, you know what, I might just go and buy a car anyway, regardless of how much money I have. Alright, there's the prize car, the A-Spec MX-5. Oh yes, right, we'll sell that. I know it's a special body kit version, but there is a B-Spec I think which is slightly more interesting, so maybe we'll save that for usage. Bye bye! Right, let's go shopping. So I'm after mid-engined lightweight, so instinct tells me to go straight to Lotus. So instantly I click on the front wheel drive Lotus because I'd forgotten that car even existed, and it's fantastic, but I'm not going to use that. Amazingly, I can afford this Esprit, but this is too powerful, you know. I want something, you know, that's too out. I don't want more than 200 horsepower, which is a weird thing to say. Look at this, look at this price difference. At 87 grand, you can have an Esprit, the GT one, 349 horsepower, 1380 kilos, or for another 140 grand more, you can have one that's got a rear wing. So you're essentially paying for the spec levels of the interior of the car, which you can't even see. Fantastic. And look, for like almost half the price, I could have this Sport 350, which is lighter. It's the racing. Oh, this makes no sense. This game. So I'm not going with the Lotus because it's a little bit boring. So I've come over to this part to see what I can find. Can I afford a Venturi yet? I could almost get the Atlantique. Oh, that's so close. You know what? I may just go and do another race so that I can have this. This fits the bill perfectly. I said I wanted a Venturi. So here's an example of that horsepower thing. Delta S4, 243 horsepower. See, that's wrong, but when that goes up to the 500-ish horsepower, that's correct. The Clio V6 fits the bill, but I don't want a Clio V6. Right, so we're quickly doing a Club and Cup Grindelwald race because I've got my heart set on that Venturi now. Hopefully this will be a little bit less controversial than the last time. Oh look, there's a Venturi in the race as well. And it's at the back, that's a good sign. Brief as well is to turn it into a rally car. If it can have dirt tyres, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all wrong. I'm going to use a mid-engine French supercar that borrows heavily from the Renault parts bin on tough dirt roads. Oh no, this got up second. This is good. This is a good omen. Those crashes are not. I've just spent the last dozen races driving fairly heavy, or this fairly heavy, predictable front-wheel drive barge, and then I'm about to go to something lightweight and mid-engines and rear-wheel drive, and I'll probably fail. Oh god, this track is so much fun. We haven't come across any reverse tracks yet, have we? Because, of course, Gran Turismo, all the fantasy tracks you drive in reverse as well. Not reverse gear, that would be a silly thing to do. I'm already having second thoughts about that Venturi because I haven't even bothered to look in the Japanese section yet. But I don't want something Japanese because they're like, the value, they're such good value, they're such good cars for not much money. And it's, you know, I've worked hard to earn this 100 grand. I say hard. It's taken me 2 videos and the grand total of an hour and a half playtime. But yeah, I want to spend all that money. You know, this car is this. I think, luckily, because this. I've forgotten what it's called. The Mercury Cougar. No, really, what is it? Oh, the Ford Taurus. Jeez, massive brain phase in terms of driving talent. Oh, don't tell me I'm going to have to redo the race as well. But yeah, this car is so good that I've got it as kind of a fallback. Eventually, if I run out of races to do or need a lot of money spent on it to be competitive, then, you know, I can come back to this. Wow, I did that quite well. I can come back to this and I can do a few races and earn probably 40 or 50 grand in it. And so this is worked out quite well so far. But as much as I like this car, I am looking forward to driving something new. Oh, the pixels on that, I don't know what it is. Is it an Alpha? It makes it look like a Citroen SM. Oh, the Delta. Anyway, let's go spend lots of money! Right, so there it is. This is the first kind of big car I've bought in this. That's quite a good power to weight ratio. The power's very low though. You think the Atlantic, you think the 300 would mean 300 horsepower, and I think that's what it should mean, maybe? It's not, unless it's a 3 litre. No, maybe it's because it's a 3 litre V6. Who knows? Anyway, I'll have to look that up as well, much like I did with the Taurus. Let's see if I was wrong. So it's 1-0 to the game so far. In terms of me thinking I know better, we'll find that out next time. Anyway, let's go see what this bad boy can do. Right, so the power is so low, I'm actually worried that I've bought a car that I cannot do anything with the money I have. So I'm afraid you're going to have to watch me do Tahiti Road again. And I'm not going to edit it because it's my first time driving the car, and you will see the track and you will hear my thoughts. In a bizarre way, that sounds like a Renault V6. It's a good noise. Acceleration good, as you'd expect. I really should have made notes of my lap times in the Taurus. Okay, handling wise it doesn't feel as good because I haven't got any upgrades on that area of the car, but I can tell it's good. Oh, it's very nice. Wow. I was expecting maybe something a little bit oversteery, but there's a lot of grip. Maybe this will be quite good. Yeah, you know what? I think I will take this into something that it should be outclassed in. I always forget that that's actually a proper corner and that you have to brake on it. I don't know if I've actually done that corner without hitting the wall yet in this run. Oh, I really messed that up. But yeah, Venturi. I do like Venturis. They're sort of very much a forgotten sports car maker. Very pretty, bit quirky. I like French cars as well, so. This thing is flat as a pancake when it's going around corners. Well, that was very straightforward, and I did not drive at all well. Right, so we're doing the first race of the MR Challenge. The horsepower limit was 345, but I think this car's good enough to win it even without that, and judging by the opposition, unless they're tuned, these don't have anywhere near that amount of power. We haven't done Grand Valley yet either, have we? Gears are quite long on this. Quite a lot about it does seem to suggest that this should have shipped with more power. 210 seems awfully low. But I think with the weight reduction, it might get under a ton in weight, which would be a bit magical. I did have a look at tyres, and this can't have dirt tyres. For some reason I thought on this you could put dirt tyres on anything on Gran Turismo 2, but I was wrong on that front. It'd be good if I can win this, get a bit of money. What I may have to do is get a cheap... Oh god, this track is very different to how it is in later games. Wow, I do not remember that bit being this tight. Crikey. Anyway, yeah, so what I was thinking is maybe buying something cheap Japanese rear-wheel drive for the early rallying. The reason I want rear-wheel drive is because rallying with four-wheel drive is pretty boring, in my opinion. Though I will have to have a four-wheel drive car for the four-wheel drive races. That's something I'll deal with later. Oh, running way too hot. This car very, very good at the fast corners, but not quite as... It's a bit cumbersome in slower corners. Will I catch that elite before the end of the race? If I remember that the track is much tighter. It's very different. They sort of modernised it all in later games, didn't they? It's all got proper barriers and runoffs and gravel tracks. Wow, that was very amateurish. But yeah, this is a lot more raw, this version. He's got a rock there. This corner is an actual corner. That's more or less flat out, that left-hander in every other version since this. Right, so I'm in the lead. Have I got the power to stave them off? If I pull in front of the Elise like that, then probably have, yes. There we go. He'd rather lift off than pull out and try and pass me. Good old Gran Turismo AI! Right, so because this worked so well in that 245 horsepower limit race, I'm now in the 80 Sports Car Cup. Yay for relevance! Special stage Route 5. Wow. Why does it have such a high horsepower limit? Oh look, there's my Celica. Yeah, why is the horsepower limit so high when the cars, your opponents, don't have that kind of power? I guess that's to make it easier. But, you know, that's the power limit. That's what I'm expecting to race against. I may have to readjust my activations. But then in some races, it seems like the races where cars reach the limit are very heavy cars, whereas the races where cars blatantly don't are very light cars. So you get sort of a power to weight ratio somewhere in between. It's really hard to drive on these night tracks because everything's just sort of darkened. There's no actual lighting going on here. I thought for a moment then that one of its lights wasn't working properly, but they're just the side lights at either side of the pop-up headlamps. I thought they'd modelled French electrics, but it is symmetrical, so I'm assuming that's how they're meant to be. Get off the boost and it's really quite ponderous. Like that Taurus with its V8. It sort of pulls quite strongly even when you're off cam. This needs a bit more revs with gearbox. I think with upgrades this will be very good. But then that's true of every car, isn't it? I'm just rambling to fill dead air. Whoa! It's so frustrating that they don't really drive on racing lines. They sort of either drive in the left third of the track or the right third of the track, and if you're in the way they will just ram you off, but that's the same on every Gran Turismo. In this they don't really fight for a racing line as such. And if they're on the wrong line for a corner, they will carry in a set speed into that corner, and if you're in the way or they crash, so be it. Oh, no, don't hit that jutting out bit of wall there. Alright, let's stay inside here so that I can. Right. Can I hold them off to the line? Who's gonna? Right, so I've slowed them down. No, no, no! Oh no, 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 no! Oh, there's a third lap. Fantastic! I made this mistake in the other 80 Sports Car Cup race I did, which I didn't lift off. Come on, I really want to win this. I don't like this track. This car really needs some upgrades. It's a bit of a waste of 100k. Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I? Oh well. Right, I can do this. It's all the damn rubber banding. Like, I'm in the lead all the time. Apart from the bits at end of straights. Wow, severe brain to grammar fail there. God, I did that much better than I did on the last lap, yet somehow lost more time to them. Right. Okay, I've only got one to hold off. Oh, there's another one coming up fast on the left. Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? No! Oh my god! Oh my god. 100th of a second. Right, so that's enough of that. I did win this from the mid-engine race though. The TRD 2000. Oh, look at that. Oh. A modified MR2. Do you know what? Because I'm a little disappointed with that Venturi, I'm going to keep this as a backup at the moment. Because for what it is, it's not worth that much money. Yeah, I'm going to keep that as a backup for the moment. And then this video there. Right, let's end this video there. A little bit disappointing. At the start of the next video, I'll probably try and. Do you know what? I'm going to treat you all to another race at Tahiti Road at the start of the next video. Get a bit more money with the Venturi. But before I tune it, I'm going to do the rally thing. I'm going to, buy a cheap Japanese car, make it a bit of a rally thing. 10% of the way through the game. So, if anything's to go by the time we hit 100%, which you can't do in this game, I don't think, because that's a neat little glitch. It's either you can't get 100% or you can get 102% or something like that. So yeah, maybe 45, 50 episodes. We'll see. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Dan out.